Um, Now with like all of these MLMs, I see all the time, like people posting like, oh my gosh, like people just friend request me and then cold message me. And like, it happens to me too. Like I get friend requested constantly. And then people are like, hey, I love making new friends. Could you do me a favor? Can I post on your wall? And I'm like, who are you? And like, what are you? So yeah. So just the whole like inviting and like connecting. And I think Beachbody does a really good job of training us to like not be like that and actually connect, because out of all the MLMs, I have never found one that people have to be really vulnerable to take this journey with you. It's not them just taking a supplement. It's not them just buying like nail wraps or a product. Like, it's a journey. This is like a commitment to their health and their fitness and their mindset. And so if you're just cold inviting, people aren't going to take this journey with you. Like, you have to really be getting to know their needs. And that's not to say that I don't ever message strangers, because I do that, especially on Instagram. Like, Instagram is like a whole other ballgame now. It's like the land of talking to strangers. But it's just not saying like, hey, join my group. Like, it's more like, are you on a journey too? Like, what are you struggling with? So we'll go through the calendar and I'll kind of walk you through like what some invites for each group that I have going on this month that you are inviting to with me, what some invites might sound like or might sound like for me, and then you make it work for you, because the worst thing is like a hey girl copy paste message. Everyone knows what those are now. Everyone is reading through them. Like, nobody wants to be hey girled. And I don't really ever say hey girl, so for me to like message that, I had to really get away from that. So let me pull up the calendar. Okay, so first thing, we had a sneak peek today, which honestly, I dropped the ball on getting invites out for that. I have some older people in there. I have people that follow my like business account on Instagram that I'm talking to, but I really wanted to rip the Band-Aid off and get one done, because for me, those are the hardest invites. It's the scariest. It's the ones that I will like put off. And so I was like, I just need to rip the Band-Aid off and get talking, get sharing my story again, and get in the routine of running those groups again, so that I can, the next one, I'm like full guns a-blazing, ready to invite. But for that, I'll talk about that last. The first thing that's coming up, so next Monday, and I'm actually going to start prep for it this weekend, is a free group. Like, literally take back your morning, free group. So step one for any group that I'm running is I have to post about it in some way, and not just a post that's like, join this group I'm running. It's a post that's like really sharing something that you've struggled with, or some experience that you've had that has been changed by this process. So the theme of this free group, it's a 5-day free group. It's called Take Back Your Morning. And it's basically designed to get people in that morning mindset, especially as kids are going back to school and parents are like getting back into that back to school grind and forgetting. Like, this is when you're going to have those moms that are like, I do not have time because we're back in school. So teaching them like waking up 20 to 30 minutes earlier, 45 minutes earlier. What is that going to do for the rest of your day? What's that going to do for your week? What's that going to do for your kids? Because you're in a different mindset. Like, you have taken that time for you first. And obviously it's not perfect every day, but how can we get in the habit of doing that? So I'm going to be doing a post that's like, I'm not a morning person. I really struggle with this, but I know that my days are much more productive. I feel better whenever I get up and do X, Y, and Z in the morning. Do any of you struggle with this too? With like some picture of me probably looking a hot ass mess in my robe with like toothpaste on my face, like I'm not a morning person kind of thing. Sharing that real stuff and getting people engaging with you. Talking to them on those posts. When they like that post, I've not really said anything about a group. When they've liked that post, I'm messaging them like, hey, I saw you like my post about like not being a morning person. Would you be interested if I ran a free group on this topic, on like how we could get back into the morning habits? People are going to say yes. It's a freaking free group. If people say no, that I don't really like, okay, bye. Like, I don't really understand. People are going to say yes. So you're just really connecting with them on a similar struggle, getting them into this free group. And it's probably people who have been watching you. It's probably people who are like, I wish I could work out like her. I wish I could meal prep like her. They don't think they can, but they're like, maybe I can get up in the morning and see what this chick's doing. Maybe I can figure out what is going on in this community in the morning that I'm missing out on. In that group, they're going to see what we do as coaches, and they're going to see what that community looks like and what that support looks like. And they're going to see all this value that we offer them. Not only am I keeping, like, it's my old free group from the meal planning workshop that I did, meal prep and planning workshop. So if they keep scrolling through there, they're going to get free meal plans. They're going to get free everything in there, plus all of this take back your morning type mindset habit stuff going on. So that's the first group I'm inviting to. Those people are going on like a customer hot list. So I'm taking all those names of people that have joined my free group, and I'm going to set a goal. So if my goal for the month is SC20, I want to get, that's 10 people. I want to get 100 people in that free group, because out of every 10, maybe one is going to say yes. That's like the mentality I go in with, is I'm going to get 9 no's before I get a yes. So I want to get 100 people into that group. I know that number seems astronomical. So just think about it in smaller chunks. Like, can I get 20, 25 people in that group, or talk to 25 people in this amount of time, in this amount of time, in this amount of time? So you have like 6 days. So what do you have to break that down to? Or do you want to try to talk to 100 people about it in the next whatever? And what are your means of doing that? Is it going through old people you've talked to? Is it off of this post? Like, you have to come up with that game plan, but having this list to work from is going to be crucial when it comes to inviting to your paid challenge group. So I'm getting these names, and I'm tapping I use the Rise Up planner. So I'm getting these names on this list. This is just an example of what this looks like. And you can just create your own list, but it just says like customer hot list, and it has 1 through 40 listed. And then there's a business hot list too. So whenever I'm doing the coaching invites, there's a list for that too. So I'm getting all of those slots filled up with names, getting them in that free group. When they're in the free group with me, I am going to be basically blowing up their DM. So I have all those posts scheduled that are going in there, and I'm going to be like, what do you think? Did you do this morning? I'm talking to them one-on-one on the side. So there's so much behind the scenes relationship building going on that is not happening in other businesses. It's not happening if you're just selling a product. This is like an experience, a journey. They're seeing like, oh, this girl is like not just throwing me in a group and like expecting me to figure it out. Like, she's going to keep showing up. And it might not be every day, but every other day. Like, hey, do you have any questions? Or like, hey, you're doing awesome. You're really participating. Or like, hey, you're not saying anything. Are you okay? Like, is everything okay in your life? Like, assuming that it's not the group that they're overwhelmed by, but maybe something else is going on. So then they're like, okay, I can talk to this person. Like, just getting them comfortable with opening up type of thing. So I'm doing a lot of work in that free group. So if you've ever heard Gary Vee say like jab, 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 right hook, I'm jabbing. I'm like doing so much legwork during that free group, because this is when they're really going to see like, I can trust this person. They're on this journey with me. I'm building this rapport with them. So that free group is really, really a lot of work, but it's worth it, because it's a lot of work in a week. And then you get them in, you start to have that conversation about getting them into like your paid challenge groups, and they've already trust you. They know faces in that group already. Like, if you're getting other people, they know other coaches that are in that group. So when they get put in that challenge group, they're comfortable. They're like, I know these people. I've worked with them before. They gave me all of this for free. Like, this is going to be good. I can trust this system. So once that free group is over, the last post I'll do in that free group is actually a poll. And it's like, what are you interested in? And it'll ask them like what they're interested in. But I'm still going to DM all those people separately and be like, hey, I hope you loved everything from the free group. Like, if you're in, like, would you be interested in joining one of my health and fitness accountability groups? My next one is actually starting on the 26th. And the topic is like end of summer sanity or something, like end of summer survival. I can't remember how it's exactly worded. And just start building that conversation. And if they're like, yeah, actually, I would like more information about that. I'm just saying like, okay, are you doing any type of workout program now? What's your nutrition like now? I'm just learning everything I can about them as far as our programs and what we have to offer, so I can then make recommendations. So I know this will take you through that if you get this book. But it really takes you through that process. So for me, what that looks like is step 1, what kind of workouts are you doing, or what kind of workouts do you like? If they're not working out at all, like, what do you like? What do you enjoy doing? And if they're like nothing, then I'm like, okay, like, you know, you have to like find that common ground with them. So in my brain, I'm not saying anything to them, but in my brain, I'm taking notes and I'm like, okay, this person says that they only have 20, like 30 minutes to work out. They love cardio and like high intensity. I'm thinking in my head, like, I bet they'd like Transform 20. And I'm writing that down. And then I'm like, okay, but I'm not saying anything to them about Transform 20. Then I'm like, okay, what's your nutrition like? And they're like, I think, you know, like, I don't eat breakfast because I'm in too big of a hurry. So immediately a red flag goes off for me. And I'm like, Shakeology is going to fit that breakfast gap for them. I like pack my lunch. It's a salad. It's really good. Then I get home and I'm like so stressed trying to figure out what to make for the kids. So like, I kind of just like pick at their food and like spiral at the end of the night. And then I eat like at like 9:30 when they're all in bed. So then I'm figuring out like, okay, they need structure. Do you like to cook kind of thing? So maybe to be mindset or portion fix, kind of figuring out their personality, what struggles they might have, what they love to do. If there's someone who like loves to cook and like loves to meal prep and plan, they might love the portion fix because it's so structured in type A. If they're like, I hate meal prepping, I hate meal planning, it stresses me out, I'm like, okay, to be mindset, because they don't have to have anything prepped or planned. They can just do the plated system and look at their plate and be like, this is good. What are their overall goals? Like all of that stuff. So I'm asking a ton of questions, but I'm taking notes and writing down like, you know, Transform 20, probably hates meal planning, to be mindset, you know, wants to lose 50 pounds, has a wedding on X, Y, and Z, or whatever their goal is. And then when I finally feel like, okay, I have a recommendation that I think that they would love, I'm going to say that. I'll be like, okay, after talking with you, this is what I would recommend. I would recommend Transform 20. It's Shaun T. If you don't know who he is, he's super fun, but he's intense. It's a 20-minute-a-day program. That's it. It's a step program, so you're going to get a stepper with it. And then I also would recommend that we bundle in this nutrition package. And if you actually do it as a challenge pack, it's half off to get a nutrition program bundled in with a challenge pack right now. Like, it's a super good deal. I'd recommend this To Be Mindset program because it's all about plating your food a certain way for weight loss. There's no meal planning or prepping. It's just about how you like plate your food, what kinds of food you should be eating, what kinds of day. I'm explaining it to them. And I'll be like, can I send you a video? It's a little 5-minute video explaining everything you're going to get in your bundle for your fitness. And then I'll send you a little video on the nutrition side of things. And they'll be like, sure. So I'll send them the All Access Challenge Pack video that I love. And once they follow up with me on that, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to message you in 6 minutes. Can you watch it right now? And if they're like, yep, I'm going to watch it right now. If they're like, no, actually, I'm in the car. Can I watch it tonight at 6:15? I'll be like, okay, I'll message you at 6:25. Like, I get them to say yes, like set an appointment with me to follow up. If another thing that I have done, so it just depends on your personality, but this works really well for me. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to send you all of this in an email. I'm going to send you the videos that I want you to check out, the program I'm recommending for you, everything broken down. And I have emails in the document section of the team page. And I'm going to call you tonight at 6:30. Or I'm going to call you at 8:30 when the kids are in bed. Does that work for you? They'll be like, yes, that's fine. And I'll just get them on the phone. Because when they can hear you saying, like, when they hear you talking, it's not like this, like, they don't have time to hesitate and be a messenger and be like distracted by their things. Like, they're on the phone. They've set this appointment with you. They've agreed to this time with you. If you call them and they don't answer, I leave a voice message and then I send them a text like, hey, I called you. Like, we had this appointment time. Like, maybe it wasn't good. Can I call you like at 9? Like, try to get them to set another appointment time with you. Follow up with them, get them on the phone, be like, okay, on the phone with them. I'll be like, are you at your computer? I'll be like, yes. We're going to go through, I'm going to build you a cart with all these in it. Your bundle is going to be in there. Okay, I'm putting in Transform 20. I'm putting in your Shakeology. What flavor do you want? So I'm on the phone with them and they're like, I want vegan chocolate, whatever. And they're like, oh, I don't really know. I'll be like, okay, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And they'll be like, oh, I love chocolate peanut butter. I'll be like, okay, you're getting chocolate. We'll put chocolate in there. Do you have any dairy issues? Having those conversations. Like, okay, now I'm going to bundle in this nutrition program. Bundling it in there. Click send them the link. And then I'm like, okay, you should have it in your email. Can you open it up and we'll get this like package wrapped up so I can get you added to the prep week. So I have them on the phone. And if they're like, oh, I can't really buy this right now, I'll be like, okay, so when can you? Like, that's cool. That's fine. When can you? We're starting on the 26th. So when can we get this wrapped up? Like, when should I call you to wrap it up? Or when should I follow up with you? And they'll be like, oh, I get paid on like next Thursday. And I'll be like, okay, I'll follow up with you on Thursday and we'll do it then. And they're like, okay. So just continuing to set appointments and like make them accountable to showing up before they ever even get into the group, when you're going to have them accountable to showing up. Like if they can't show up to buy this challenge pack, like chances are getting them to show up in a challenge group is going to be not so fun. I love to get on the phone. I know it skeeves people out, or they're like, I just can't. But I think for me, like with how crazy my schedule is, and it's just going to get crazier, I can look at my schedule and be like, okay, I'll have time to sit down at 8:15 and get this person on the phone. I don't have all day to sit there on my messenger and like waste all this time in my messenger. So I would rather set these appointments, know I have 5 to 10 girls that I am calling in a week on the phone to get them to like wrap up their challenge packs, than like hope someone's going to message me back or be like, oh, they're ghosting me. Like if they're ghosting me on the phone, I'm moving on to the next one. But I should have built that rapport enough with them in the free group, which is my funnel system, into my paid group, that they trust me to get on the phone and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that like different at all? No? It's pretty common sense, right?
Yeah. No, it makes sense to me. It's just me trying to get back in the swing of everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel the same way, because I literally took June and half of July like off from inviting, or May and June. Because when I found out I was pregnant, I literally was like, I can't even move. Like I can't breathe, or like something bad's gonna happen. Like I just like wouldn't move. And then got out of a routine, and it's just like, you just have to rip that Band-Aid off. Like, once you gain that momentum of like just reaching out to people and talking to people, like you'll find that joy in it again. It won't be scary. Like I know whenever I take a break, I'm like, oh God, like it feels so daunting to think like 100 people. Like I have to filter through 100 people to like find the 10 that like actually need me and like want this opportunity and want my help. But once you start like getting in the routine of it and like trudging through it, it will just happen. It will just become routine. It's like working out. It's like the hardest part is just getting started. So for me, like when I have this list, if I don't have a customer hot list of names, I'm not inviting. Like if I don't have the list, it's not happening, because then I'm like, oh, I have to make time to figure out who to invite. So I have to have this working list. And what I will do is set my alarm. I hate inviting. It's actually like my least favorite part of the business. I think it's most people's. I don't think anyone like enjoys this part. And I'll have this list, and I'll literally be on my phone, and I will start sending the messages before I even get out of bed. Like before I press play, before I drink my Energize, I'm just like, okay, like, hey, I saw you liked my post about my morning, like how I suck in the mornings. If I ran a free group, would you be interested? Like I'm sending those out, and then getting that funnel system of people. For me, getting people into a free group first. And like I've learned this from Katie Yersta. Like it's not like a thing that I made up. Like we all know she does her free funnel, like free funnel. She's always tripping about this free funnel. Like her numbers and her business show that this free funnel works. So like I'm not going to try to invent the wheel and do something else. Like get them in a free group, pour into them in this free group, give them everything I have that could possibly help them for free. So then they trust me to spend $160. And then they trust me to spend $130 every month. And then people are asking me like, how are you having so much volume every week? Like you're always like close to the top of Katie's leaderboards. And I'm like, trust. It's people trusting you, ordering every month, and then finding new people that are ordering every month, and new people that are ordering every month. And that's why when I took May and June off from inviting and like adding new people to my funnel, my challenge groups continued to run themselves. I was still in there posting. When I needed time off, my challenger stepped up, or other coaches stepped up, and my income did not move. Like it continued to be what it was. But it's that system of like consistency. That consistency has been put in for 4.5, 5 years before, actually like 3 years before I started to see like that, like it wouldn't move if I would kind of like need a couple weeks to like just be like, and then it keeps to continue to grow itself. But it's getting those people to trust you. Like my customers I have now, if I bring in 10 customers a month, 8 of them are sticking for the long haul. Like they're staying, they're not quitting. Maybe 2 of them will fall off and I'm just like, I tried, but they'll slip through the cracks and they'll make excuses. They usually come back 6 months or so later. They'll come back around because they realize like, I did feel really good then. That was really working. I did it for 3 months and then I stopped for whatever reason, which we know we do that. We all do that. Like we all were like, why did I ever stop doing that? But it's just that consistency piece of continuing to build. That's that residual income piece. So once you have, 8 people ordering this month in June, then they're ordering again in July and you're adding 8 more people on top of that. And then those 16 are ordering again in August. So you have 8 more people ordering on top of that. Like, you know how that works. Then eventually those people are like obsessed. They become coaches. They're doing the same thing. They're bringing in 3 people a month and then 3 people the next month on top of that. And then they're building a residual, and that just continues to build your team and your cycling and like your income potential. But you just have to trust it and be consistent and do the shit that sucks first, which is what I'll struggle with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You have any questions?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. And this isn't like the Bible, like if you're like, yeah, that phone call stuff's not working for me, you don't have to do it. Like, that's just what I do and like how I feel my brain. I get so overwhelmed when I have like my inbox, like I just want to dump it. Like I just want to get it out of there. So I think in my head, I'm like, if I can get this person on the phone, I get them out of my messenger. And then it's not like this constant like, oh, I have to follow up with her. It's like we've taken care of all of it in a phone call and it's done. The share card is out. It's done. I would say 80% of the time they're not purchasing on the phone with me. Like most of them are like, oh, can I do this next week? And I'm fine with that. But at least the share card is out. I've had voice contact with them. I have their phone number. I have their email. So I don't have to be relying on Facebook Messenger because people can really ignore you on Facebook Messenger, but they can't ignore you on their phone.
So for like a follow-up, do you start like send them a text?
Like when they're like, hey, can I do this next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I would do is like, say they're going to, they're like, I'll order on Thursday. I've made a note of that and I've written it on my Thursday, like in this Rise Up planner. So when I would open to Thursday, I would see like, oh, Jen's ordering Thursday. So Wednesday, I'm going to send her a text Wednesday night and be like, hey, what's a good time for me to call you tomorrow to finish your cart, to finish your order? Like you said, you could order tomorrow. What's a good time to call? I'm free at 12:30. And she'll be like, oh yeah, that works. Or like, yeah, I'll be on my lunch break. Or I can't do it till the kids are in bed. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm free at 9:15, whatever. Or she'll be like, oh, I have the email. I'm good. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to text you at 9:15. I want to get you in this group. Like, I want to get you started. I don't want you to be left behind. Like, I'm building that like urgency, especially with these promo codes. Oh my gosh, I didn't even mention the promo codes. Like, when I have these people on the phone and I'm like, I'm giving you this promo code if you're going to order now. If not, I'm giving it to someone else. It might be here next week when you need it, but like, I can't promise it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most people will be like, oh no, I want the promo code. Like I had a girl last month that like didn't need Shakeology, didn't need Performance Line, but she was like, I'm just going to add a bunch of crap to my cart till it's over 140 so I can use the promo code. And I was like, whatever. Like, she didn't need it, but she wanted the promo code. And I was like, okay. Like, something about using a promo code. She was like, I'll get beach bars. I'll get Power Greens. Like, she was just, like, creating her own little bundle because she wanted the $10 off.
Was she a code? What?
No. She was a customer. She wanted the promo code. One of those 9 that use the promo. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, sure, spend the money you want.
That's funny.
Yeah. She's also one of those people that I'm like, do you want to be a coach for the discount? She's like, no. She wants to pay full price. Like, she orders every month. She's very consistent. She's always showing up in my challenge groups. Like, she's great. She should be a coach, but she's like, no.
Who is it?
Crystal, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's posting in both the groups. Like, she's in both my challenge groups. I'm like, you do you, girl. I think eventually she'll come around, but right now she's like, doing her thing.
Yeah. Yeah, she's funny too.
Yeah, just building my residual. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be.
Yeah, I've come to realize that I need to talk more about just like the challenge groups and everything to get more comfortable with even writing it. Granted, sometimes I feel I can write better than speak because I get too excited and too overwhelmed, and then I say the weird things, and then I have to explain why I said the weird thing, and
That's like all those messages, like all that connecting and relationship building during the free group is like so crucial, because once I get them on the phone, I know so much about them.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I can get them on the phone and be like, hear their kids screaming. I'll be like, oh, is that Sarah? And she's like, yeah, she won't go. Like, I can like have that full conversation with them about like what's going on in their house.
Yeah.
And I can be like, hey, your husband should do this. Like, you can just have a different conversation. Like, people, when you have them on the phone, there's just more of like a buy-in. Like, oh, what does he think about this? Is he excited for you to do this? How's his eating? Like, is he gonna like hate this, or are you gonna like what's going on? Like, kind of feeling out like what their support system at home is like, in a like very genuine, like non-threatening way. Because
people are pretty. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So people are pretty open to getting on the phone with you.
Yeah.
I would just be I don't know.
I think they just think it's part of the process. They don't know any better.
That's true.
They don't know that Messenger is an option. But for me, like, I came from, like, when I met Dave, we were in phone sales. So it was all about, it was like students enrolling in school, enrolling in college, but it was all about setting appointments and like setting the expectation for students showing up to like go through their application process. So for me, like getting them on the phone, like you could email them, but they're not going to do the application. They would not do the application unless you were sitting there with them on a computer on the other end of the phone doing it. So I think I just learned like from that training, like there's more buy-in whenever you're on the phone. You can be building that rapport like you're in person with them. Conversation like flows more naturally. Like,
yeah,
it's not broken up over Messenger. Like, I really struggle with Messenger because I'll be like, it just stresses me out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense because, like you said, people can just ghost you. They don't want to respond.
Or like when I'm home, like one day I sat at Cummings for like 3 hours and had like 5 people come through. Like, hey, I'm meet me at Cummings at this time. And I sold like 5 challenge packs at Cummings in person.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So if it's people that are local, you could be like, hey, do you want to meet for coffee? And then just try to set up like back-to-back people.
Mm-hmm.
And then if another person walks in, like this happened actually at Cummings once. I was sitting there with this woman, Beth, and another person walked in. I was like, oh, she's my next customer. Like, but then they met each other.
Yeah.
They were in a challenge group together. And I was like, she's doing it too. Like, it's not an awkward thing. They're like, oh, you're sitting here working. Like, this is what you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely more open to being on the phone and stuff because even with like the last couple people I've talked to, they've been more in person than online. Like, I follow up with them on Messenger.
Yeah.
But like the one lady from work, like that was all face to face, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I got 2 other people yesterday when I was picking my dogs up. They were talking about Abby Walsh, and I was like, oh, is she like trying to get on a workout thing? And she's like, no, she's thinking about becoming a Beachbody coach. And I'm like, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
And so she joined the call tonight, which was awesome.
Oh, awesome. Who was
so it? Ashley Saylor.
Okay, yeah, I saw her and I was like, I'm
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She was getting her dogs, and I think she worked at the dog place before. And she was just like, it's so nice talking to somebody and not reading it online. Like, because you can read so many things online, but you don't really know if that's truly how they feel. And like, this girl was like me when I started. Like, she was just like, send me the stuff. I'm going to buy it on Friday because that's when I get paid.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. Like, I'm so pumped for this girl. But
This Ashley girl?
yes.
Yay.
Yeah. Because I asked her when I was talking to her last night on Messenger, I was like, so how did you like learn about morning meltdown? Because she already knew about it. I was like, did somebody tell you about it? And she's like, no, I just Googled it. I was like, oh.
Doesn't that just make you want to kick yourself?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean you Googled it? But then I'm like, I did that. Like,
yeah.
I infomercial. So like,
right.
Those coaches. Yeah. That's so funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, and this is, I think, from working with teenagers too, is like our generation and like younger, and especially moms our age, like when you get them on the phone, it's like the biggest breath of fresh air for them. They're like human, another human to talk to me. That's like,
right.
It's just this like, and then they just get so much more comfortable in the challenge groups because they've had this phone conversation with you. I think once they decide to be coaches, they're better coaches because they're like, I got on the phone with you. Like they know that like this is part of the process. It's just a different, I don't think a lot of people do it. I actually didn't realize it was like something different I was doing until like a couple years ago on a diamond retreat in Destin. Everyone was staring at me because I was on the phone. Like I was selling challenge packs on the phone. And these girls were like, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? Like I'm getting customers started with their challenge packs. So like on the phone, like, how do you do it? Like, I didn't know it was like something because I did with Katie in person.
Right.
Like I knew that there was like messages, but I didn't know people like wrapped up the message in Messenger, like wrapped up the calendar in Messenger. I was just like, that seems so like cold to me. I don't know. There's like I just like to get them on the phone or on a Zoom. If they'll Zoom with you, that's even better.
Right.
Share your screen. Yeah. That's an option too. And I just feel like so many moms that I get on the phone or on Zoom or something are just like, this is so fun. Like it's like this human interaction that they're missing throughout the day, especially if they stay home.
Yeah. Well, and it gives it that sense of, it's more serious. You're not just typing to somebody on your phone like you're texting. Like you're actually sitting down, you're meeting with someone to go over like something. Like
now that I'm thinking about it too, it would be so awesome. I should start doing this to get people on Zoom, get their challenge pack bought, and then share my screen, get them into the challenge group and be like, this is the unit section. This is where you bring your meal plans. Like do it with them. When
I was showing Susan everything, like before, it was the day before she purchased or something. And she was like, so I'm going to get the DVDs, right? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all online. Don't you know that? Like, to me, like, that's just common sense. But like these people out there, they don't actually know that it's not DVDs anymore. Yeah. And that this is the group. Like that was the one day that somebody posted like her head was down and she just finished her workout. I was like, this girl's dying from her workout. Like, and she's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that would be a great idea.
By the way,
she's got to be in her 40s, maybe 50s.
Okay, because
she's a mom.
Deborah's in that group, and she's like, I'm so old. I'm definitely the oldest one here. And I'm always like, no, you're not.
See, my struggle that seems to be a thing, like even when I was doing it before the challenge groups, I can't get my people to post. Like Susan, I'm pretty sure she checks in every day. Like she'll like things, but she's not posted yet. And like she did comment on mine tonight because we had a thing at work and she didn't participate in it either. It was a Taco Tuesday. And like she actually was like, yeah, I didn't do that either. And so I sent her a GIF, and I just don't.
Watching it. I would just message her and be like, hey, how's the group going? Or ask
well,
her.
I talked to her. Yeah. I talked to her in person today because I went down to her desk.
all the time. Like, I wouldn't worry about her too much.
Okay.
But
I mean, she's very into it. Like, she loves it.
yeah.
She loves the workouts.
I saw her post the other day, like, oh, I'm on day whatever, and I did the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like a new experience for her.
Yeah.
And she's kind of watching and learning, and I think will participate more as time goes on, and she sees like other people participating.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Sure.
yeah, that seems to be my struggle, is getting people to freaking log.
We'll figure it out. You guys have any other questions?
No.
No? Was that helpful or?
It was, yeah.
Okay. And so then the same process I would do for like a sneak peek for coaching. Like same thing, but almost like the funnel would go free group, paid challenge group, sneak peek. So once they're challengers, I'm like, hey, I think you'd be an awesome coach. Do you want to check out the sneak peek? So it's like a funnel that just like continues to recycle itself. But this book, Go Pro. I'm gonna go hand it to Dave.
It's super short too.
Super short.
I haven't read it. I just know that.
It's super short, and it's like broken into chapters that are like, if you're struggling with like following up, I could be like, I don't know how to follow up. Follow up is page 77. Like, you don't have to read the whole book. You could read the whole thing, and then you can constantly like do it. So like this, I love this. It's like following up is doing what you said you'd do. Like, if you don't follow up with people, like, you're actually not showing them. Did you listen to the National Wake Up Call when they said Fortune is in the follow up? And then Sandy was like, Fortune, she changed it a little bit. And I was like, oh.
I think I remember that. It was just a couple calls ago, right?
Yeah, it might have been Miguel's. I was like, I just said that on our team call. I can't remember what she said, but anyways. Yeah. All right. So tomorrow we invite, or tonight.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, I can't remember. So we can invite to your free group.
Yeah, just invite to mine because I'm using the Mompreneur, that content that I buy.
Okay.
And it's really great. All you need, like, I'll auto schedule all the posts. Just if you're inviting, participate. And you can tell people like, oh, hey, my coach is gonna run this one. Like, make it seem like we do it as a team. Well, which we do. Like, my coach is gonna run this one, but like, you just always comment, like, make sure that you're participating so that they see like, oh. And then you're messaging them privately, like, hey, what'd you think of the post today?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think this will be a good one because of like the timing of it, the theme of it. Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I think so too. I've only ever done like the free like workout groups or nutrition groups, and they're not that engaging.
Yeah. My meal plan workshop was like really, that's the same group. I just like changed the title and stuff. It was really good. So that's one that I'll definitely bring back eventually. But it's all in the units there. So if you have people that you can be like, oh, by the way, she didn't take down all the meal prepping stuff. So poke around in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Let me know if you guys need anything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.